What's up, everybody? It's time to do another draft review. Um, so I started my own Facebook page, and going forward, I'm just gonna make random shoutouts to say, "Hey, let's draft," and then people can join in and just hop in our drafts and possibly have their draft recorded and be on daily metagame. So what I'm planning to do today is just a normal draft with 8 people that are on that Facebook page. I know some of the people. Big Spooky is Michael Barnes. Elwood is God, I know his name. Matt. Sorry, Matt. I'm drawing a blank here. Why am I drawing a blank? I know Matt. We've hung out a lot. There's Seth. The Sensei is another friend of mine. Adrian. So we got a lot of people I know. Eric. I guess I should look at the pack. There's a lot of strong choices, but I feel like doing something a little crazy today. I'm gonna take the Master Hero, even though, typically you don't just take the Master Hero first pick. But I want to try something new and fun. Normally I would take the Blitz. Human is also a good choice. So sorry, I'm just rushing through this first pack, but we're gonna try something fun today. Something you guys won't normally see. So really, last pick, like in a normal 8-man draft at Worlds, I would have taken either Human or Blitz because both those cards lead to decks that are pretty awesome. But like I said, I want to try something fun today. So with the Stag, what a cool deck that I've had in the past is a Blue Alliance Paladin that played a bunch of the 4/5 that heals for 8 damage, and the flip heals you for 5. The second flip buys that 8 damage healer back, so you gain a lot of health throughout the game. So I'm probably just try to recreate that kind of deck. I know I just passed a Human, but Human's by far the best card in the pack. Let's just take Human here. I'll start scrolling through the packs more so you can actually see the picks, but sometimes you just got to draft for fun. You don't have to just draft these absurd decks. All right, so Potency doesn't go in the deck. Glory to Alliance is good. It helps us stay alive to play this Maloran White Stag. And the nice thing about the Master Hero, if you get it into play, it's almost impossible to kill you. So that's always an upside, right? Plus, it just wins the game. You just make 10 tokens a turn. And there's not much that's going to beat that. Without even looking at the rest of the pack, I would automatically say that the pick is Glory to Alliance here, but we'll just go through the pack. So Glory Alliance is a good pick. Soul Trap is good removal. Both the 2 Alliance allies we could play, Bancroft or Sentinel, are both very, very good. We don't care about the Horde allies. The monsters are okay. I mean, I like the Doomsmith, but the pick for me is Glory to Alliance. Excuse me, guys. Something's stuck in my throat still. Okay, just looking at this pack. What we want to do with this deck is, it's cool that we have the Stag. We can plan to build a deck around that. And nobody's going to really see that coming. But we really want to still have like a solid basic deck. So far I've got Human and I got Glory to Alliance, which creates humans. So seems like we should build a human deck, right? Looking at the pack, there's the Night Elf that burns. 2 abilities we don't really care about. 4 Horde allies, which probably signals we should be in Horde, but probably too late for that. A Black Soul. A Tabard. The Black Soul is probably the card I picked. The other card is Well of Eternity. You need a lot of quests if you're going to play the Stag, but I'd rather just draft the Human to kind of set up the longer term game plan of the deck. There's another Well of Eternity. So Shield of Light's good in this deck because it lets us just keep our allies in play, which is good in the Human deck. If we wanted to play, we could play out of Druid, because if we get this ability to Men 3, that's going to keep us alive for a long time, which is what we need to do to play the Stag. I kind of want to get greedy, though. If I'm going to take this Mark of Growth, I'm going to try to take it on the wheel, which would be like 12th, 13th pick. There's Shadow Word Devourer, which is another heal dot, which could be good in the deck. The Earthen Crusher, just the big health and ability to kill lots of allies is good. Like I said earlier, we need to take quests. I have a good amount of humans. I think Wall of Eternity is probably the pick. Documenting the time waves would be fine. Going along our game plan. So last pack we saw that we had the chance to take Mark of Growth. This time we get what I consider to be like a first pick is Mark of Malorn, which is the +2/+3 for 2 resources. Like there's no reason if we're planning to go Druid, there's no reason not to take the Mark because it's just a powerful card all around. It dictates so much combat early in the game that you gain a huge advantage. You automatically put your opponent on the back foot, and it's only turn 2 of the game if you play it on a 1-drop. So there's a huge upside to the Mark. If I wanted this really defensive deck, I could take the Bear Trap. The other choice is Documented Time Waste, just because we want a lot of quests. But right now, let's just take the Mark. So there's a couple choices here. We could take the Vigilant Guard. But considering that I just took the Mark, I don't really want to take another different class unless I have a good reason to. Like, I do like the Paladin Shell that I've played this deck out of before because you get the 1-drop armor, which heals you. The choice could be Wild Seeds, which will just... Sometimes it's just straight up ally removal. And anytime you kill 2 allies with this, it's like a huge kick in the nuts for your opponent. The card I like kind of the best is Tarwilla, because this lets us cast the Master Hero a turn earlier. And that seems awesome. I like Unending Numbers in this deck just because it lets you... You know, if you're going down to like your bottom card to play the Master Hero, you're going to need some turns to win, so this will let you reshuffle. It's a tough choice. It's one of these 3 cards. I think I'm just going to go with the Tarwilla. To give you a whole look at the pack, we got Shield of the Light, which would be fine if we're Paladin. Another Vigilant Guard, which is nice to have these kind of cantrips because it lets you draw into your Master Hero quicker. I could take the Human, but I'm not really a big fan of the 4/1. Eye of Oros, who cares? I mean, I guess there's some value. Like if I play this guy and somehow get the Mark on him and hit them for 3 and get to play a card for free. That seems like too cute more than powerful. Probably the best card for us here is just the archival purposes, another quest. So if we would have been Paladin, I guess we could have had 3 Vigilant Guards, but we don't really want 3 Vigilant Guards. Though it does offer cute interactions. There's a Stormwind Summoner, who's good in the human deck, which is probably a great pick for us here. We don't have any 1-drops. We need 1-drops to be competitive. There's another Tarwilla, which is also getting a consideration here just because, like I said, it lets us cast this Master Hero turn earlier. And it's elusive. It can stay out there. And none of the other cards are exciting. Like the Cleric is just a 4/2. His ability rarely comes into play. I probably should take the Summoner. Though I really want this Tarwilla, but the Summoner is probably just the better pick. There's a late Spirit Walker in here. None of the abilities matter at all for us. The Doomsmith is actually pretty good in the human deck because it lets you just cash in like Stormwind Summoner or one of your tokens from like Glory to the Alliance to give your hero Assault 4 and kill one of their allies. So I kind of like him as the pick. The other card I would consider is Documenting the Time Waste, which we do need more quests, but we still have another 2 packs and they're coming around late, so I'm not really worried about quests right now. I think I like the Doomsmith. He just offers like an ally removal in like a 3/2 body. So surprisingly, he doesn't look that great when you look at him. It says destroy one of your allies to kill one of their allies. It's basically the way it reads, but it's really good in the human deck. So I don't mind taking him. Looks like we get a second copy because none of the other cards are playable for us. I think this is the pack we're hoping to get that Mark of Growth in. And, like, if I do get the Mark of Growth, I kind of wish I would have taken the other Tarwilla. Just getting Mark of Growth into play on turn 3 is so much more powerful than doing it on turn 4. Doesn't look like we're going to get that. So basically there's two options. The quest does nothing in our deck for us that we need it to do. We need quest that draws cards because we're going to want to play a lot of resources. Excuse me. I could take the Heal Tabard if I somehow move into red. This goes with our Stag, just like keeping us alive until we can play it. But this Razor Hill actually makes a lot of decks, so I'm just going to take him as more of like a hate draft than anything. Alright, so I was off on the pack, so Mark of Growth did come back. That's great for us. If I get multiple Mark of Growths and I can heal like 6 to 9 damage a turn, we're definitely going to be able to cast a Stag. I don't care if somebody plays this Moonspeaker against me because it's just a terrible ally. A 1/4 with not a great ability for 3 is just not what you want to do in this format. And Kiss of Death, who cares? Just a piece of trash. Not the greatest deck, but you know, we're trying something fun here. We're not trying something like real competitive. Oh, okay. And then we open Legacy of Legion. I like to have fun, but I'm not going to be dumb and pass one of the most powerful cards in the format. So the pick is obviously Legacy Legion. I have 2 Druid cards in Mark of Growth and Mark of Malorn, but both of them combined are not on the same power level as Legacy of Legion. And really, there's nothing else in the pack for us. I guess I could take the Silver Blade, but not really great outside of a Night Elf deck. So it was nice we got the Bear Trap, which also works with our Stag plan. Alright, Strike is good against like the Night Elf deck where you gotta kill their elusive dudes. The other 2 abilities at the top aren't great. We don't care about the Horde allies. Time Walker Lightsworn is like the best thing you can be doing in the human deck. It's cheap, which is important because you want to get a lot of allies out in play. And he just has a powerful ability if you do get him into play early. Child of Ursoc is about the same value, but I mean, this guy only costs 2, this guy costs 3, so if they're about the same value, we're always going to take the guy that costs 2. I could take either Night Elves, but I don't really have a great Night Elf deck, so I don't really care. I just have to be careful about the Shadow Blade, because I do have a couple human protectors in my deck, so I don't want to just get blown out by this guy. If we would have been Horde, I guess we would have got a Deathwalker, which is always good. Yep, and this just shows that we should have been, probably should have been Horde at some point, because we could have got a lot of protectors. Which also works if you're playing the Malorn deck, or the Master Hero deck. If you look at this pack, there's basically nothing at all for us. There's a Frenzy Fellhound, which offers sometimes ally removal, so that's not a terrible pick. Soul Trap, we're not Warlock. We're probably going to be Hunter or Warrior at this point. Bunch of allies we don't care about. If I did go down the Druid path, I could take the Signet and just write off that one pick as a hate. I'm just going to take the Quest because none of the other cards are that great for us. Okay, so we have Hammer, which is good if we would have went down the Paladin path. Another Vigilant Guard, which we can reasonably expect to wheel if we want to go down the Warrior path, just because we saw so many in Pack 1. Combat Stance is not what we want to do, because we have lots of ways to win with Legacy of Legion or our Master Hero. Do we need to have this blowout stance? No. If we go Druid, we can get another Mark of Growth, which is never a terrible choice. None of these monsters are exciting. Maybe the Fellhound is decent just because it gives us a little bit more removal. the pick is Time Walker Guard just because it offers us a protector, 2 humans in one shot, and nothing really to hate. I mean, we took Time Walker Lightsworn, so might as well move into it with the guard. Feldrake doesn't work in our deck. There's another Night Elf. Little 1-drop. I think he's very important in the deck because he's like an enabler. 2 Horde allies that don't matter. A Tabard that doesn't matter. There's the Girdle, so if we go Warrior, I want to pick this up because I want my deck to go to like the later turns. But with this equipment being common, I typically try to pass it and wheel. And there's 2 quests, both about the same value-wise. I'm just going to take the one that's guaranteed pay 4, draw 1 card. I don't know. Like, maybe it's crazy to say it, but I'm kind of thinking Druid might still be the path to victory for us. The second flip gives us healing, which will let us live to the stag a little bit easier. And really, like, there's not really that many warrior cards we really want in this deck. I could take the Bloodthirsty Shot if I want to go warrior for the legacy. I probably will just take one of the allies, even though they don't matter, or the Signet, just because I need cards. I think I'm just gonna give up on legacy. Like, I have the Mark, which is powerful early. I have the Mark of Growth, which will give me healing. I'm expecting to get the other Mark back. I probably will get the other Signet back. And it's getting more cards that go in my like fun deck. Sweet, another Time Walker Guard. There's a Bancroft, which would be nice to pick up just because we need early 1-drops. Another Well of Attorney, which is probably the best quest for our deck. Just because we have a lot of humans right now. But we'll always take a Time Walker Guard. He's just very powerful. 2 allies for the cost of 1. He 1 step closer to turning on Unity. Even though we don't have that many, we have 2 Unity cards right now. Plus, he just works good with the human that we got passed to us second. I probably could have passed the Master Hero and hoped to wheel it, but I just want to play with it again. It's just so much fun when you cast it and they can't kill you. 2 Night Elves for the Night Elf deck, which we are not. 2 monsters we don't care about. This book that doesn't do anything but help us win faster against Horde, which if you're in a position to use the book, you're usually already winning. There's just the other quest that draws you 4, or the quest that heals us for 3. I'd rather just play the quest that draws us a card for 4. I mean, both these guys could be playing our deck, but really Tracker, we want a Night Elf deck to play him. The Warrior makes more sense just because he will trade straight up for another ally. The 3 abilities won't make our main deck. The Totem is terrible. The Horde ally doesn't matter. There's the big 6/5, which we could play. Or the quest documenting the time waves, which we already have a lot of quests right now. We have 5, so I really only need like 2 or 3 more. But I won't mind picking up a big dude. Just because he helps me make sure I clean house later in the game if I don't draw my Master Hero. Plus, if I do end up getting the other Mark of Growth, you want big guys to mend the damage off of. There's Strike, which I like just because the Night Elf deck seems like it's going to be powerful at this table. And their best ally is probably the 2/1 that gets bigger for every Night Elf. Both these Priest cards don't matter. We're not Priest. The Demon would have been cool if we took like the Feldrake, but that's another draft, not our deck. I probably could take the Stock just because it has applications and out of the side deck against some decks. Or the Quest, which I would probably never play considering I have a good amount of quests that actually just draw me cards. I'm just going to take the Strike. Alright, we got the Signet back, which is what I wanted. I could take the 4/1, doesn't really do anything. The other 3 cards don't do anything for our deck, so really no reason to play them. And the Signet just fits in with what I want my deck to be doing. I want to draw into the Master Hero. I want to play a lot of resources. I need cards, and this does that for me. Plus, I'm planning to live longer, so the extra turns it takes to get the cards off the Signet doesn't matter. Excuse me. I'm liking where the deck's going so far. I don't, I have Legacy of Legion. If I just wanted to give up on this Druid plan, I have more Druid cards than anything, so I don't think I can. Yep, and the Mark comes back, which is what we wanted. I could take the Vigilant Guard if I wanted to go down that Legacy of Legion path, but I'm just going to give up on Legacy. It's crazy. There's not many times you're going to play or draft a Legacy and not play it, but considering that I want to play this Malorn deck, I think that's the only option I have. Since I'm Druid and I want healing, Focus Heal is an awesome combat trick, and it's just good against a lot of the decks. If I get an ally out they can't deal with, and then they try to swing multiple allies into it, you blow them out with the Focus Heal. It can be like a 3-for-1 or more. Obviously, we're not going to play the 1-drop Horde ally ever. There's a chance we'll side in the Vainglorious or play it main deck, depending on how much healing we need to play. If we ever played against Legacy, it's nice to see the Arcane Raveling in our side deck. It'd just be the biggest blowout if we played against a Mage and cast Legacy and they countered it and got to play it. Alright. Again, 3 abilities we don't care about. 2 Horde allies that aren't going to make our deck, so we don't even need to really look at them, just kind of like notice that there's a lot of protectors. 2 monster allies. Both could play in our deck, but they just aren't very good. Time Marker Guard, which is probably the pick here. And then a card I will want to kind of take note of is this Marksman, just because I know if I play against a Horde deck that they could just randomly put 3 damage on one of my allies. And now that I've seen it, I mean, I always kind of play around it because it's common, but it's nice to know that there actually is one in the draft. So the choices between the Guard or the Well of Eternity, and Guard's just awesome, so let's just take him. There's another Mark of Growth, which we will probably get on the wheel. There's 3 Alliance allies we could pick from. I think the clear choice is the Protector. The second choice in this pack that we'll think about is Helm of Thorns, which is a 2-cost armor that provides us with 1 armor, 1 in Exhausted to exhaust another 2-cost ally or less. And really just 1 point of armor over 10 turns of the game to cast that Master Hero can save us a lot of damage, but I would always take the Protector first because there's a high chance the Helm of Thorns will come back to us. And really, we know that Mark of Growth's coming back, so. Ooh, Euphoria. Yay. Just kidding. I could take it, but I really don't have that many expensive allies. I guess I have enough cards to make it useful. But I have a lot of blanks, too, so. Not really looking to take Euphoria like this early. Oh, come here, little Slade. My newest addition is crying, so we'll pick him up. We go down, there's another Signet, which I wouldn't mind wheeling, or the Euphoria, like if we just wanted to try it. That could be like kind of random blowout somewhere. But I'm trying to choose between these 2 allies. Like the 9-elf one doesn't have any application for us, where the 4/4 could just let us get unstoppable attack 1 turn, so I think I just take the monster just because he's better in more decks. And this pack, just Quick Lance has nothing for us. There's a Burn Away, which we could take for our side deck. I haven't really seen any abilities besides like Shadow or Devour that we need to worry about. I'm just going to take the quest. There's nothing in here for us. I really hope we can get like one of the 4/5 heal 8s. I think it's Flimlight or something like that. I kind of wish we drafted Monster. There's like a lot of late monsters coming around. But, too late now. Like another pack with nothing in it for us, so let's just take one of the random quests. Yeah, if we would have been Horde, we would have had a selection of allies to choose from. Monster still has good choices. Besides that, we really don't have many choices for our decks. Considering we're the human deck, Ian's not a bad choice. There's another Helm of Thorns, but I think we're going to get the other copy. So I'll just take the Ian. I could take the quest, but we already have like 7 or 8, so at this point we don't really need another copy. Ability-wise, there's nothing for us for Druid besides the Mark of Growth that we're expecting to get in a second. There is another 4/3 Protector for us, so that's going to be our pick. I could take Shattering Blow for my side deck because I did pass a couple Tabards that I don't want to play against, but I'm just going to take the 4/3. Alright. We have a deck that wants to go late to the game, so End of Time is the clear pick. The other 2 quests aren't great, and none of the abilities are going to make our deck. So, obviously we're just going to let those ones go. This draft is, I tried to force a deck and it's not really coming together, but it should still be pretty good human-wise, so not that worried about it. Right now I'm just looking at cards I could hate. I'm going to take the Shattering Blow. Just gives me a sideboard option. 2 Torrens in here, not really worried about. I could take the Hammer, but nobody seems to really be Paladin. Mark of Growth came back, so that's going to be my pick. Just because this lets me get to the late game. I think I'll get the other copy of Helm of Thorns, so not really worried about that. I could take the Ally, but I have a lot of 3-drops, so pretty straightforward picks right now. At this point, we're just going on autopilot. We're going to take the Vainglorious. Hammer. I guess somebody else thought the Euphoria was going to be cool, so they took it. And more power to them, but I'm not really looking to gamble that early on it. Out of the 3 cards in this pack, I guess I'd be most scared about the weapon, even though I passed like 4 copies of it. I guess I could take the Disenchant for our Mark. That seems like the better pick. There could randomly just be somebody in Priest, but I doubt it because Priest is one of the worst classes. Now at this point, I kind of wish I could go back to pack 1 and take the other Tarwilla over the 1-drop. Like, the 1-drop's not important to our plan, but casting the Master Hero earlier or casting Mark of Growth earlier is. Yeah, that was probably a mispick. And I got the weapon last pick. So, got a lot of protectors. We got a good, decent card draw with all of our quests and the 2 signets. We have 3 marks, which will help us keep alive, and we have the Master Hero. So hopefully I don't always have the Master Hero as the bottom card of my deck. But we'll see. Okay, I'll post my deck in the article, and you can see a couple games in a little bit.